Alright, so what's up guys, welcome back to yet another video, and today we're talking about the Glorious Model O. This is the mouse with which Glorious disrupted the entire mouse industry almost 2 years ago, and coming in with really good features, a super lightweight shell, overall just awesome performance. Glorious had really changed the way the mouse industry was going. So almost 2 years later, is this mouse still worth considering? Now, before we get into the video, a special thanks to our sponsor, Wild West, for sending this mouse over to me for review. Their store is a really great place to pick up a lot of good mice like the Xtrfy M42, the Glorious series of mice, going from the wired ones all the way to the Model O wireless, and even other mice like the HyperX Pulsefire Haste, more gaming related peripherals. So yeah, if you guys are in Bangladesh and you're looking for that kind of thing, definitely check their page out from the link in the description below. With that being said, let's get into the video. So today we're taking a look at the Model O, and let's just start off with the specifications of this thing. So the mouse is powered by the Pixar 3360 sensor, a really popular sensor that you see in a ton of mice. Now, as 2021 crawls by, we're seeing the 3389 more and more in a lot of mice, so it's definitely a little bit dated, but it's still a really good sensor, and from my experience in game, there's not enough of a difference between the 3389 and the 3360 for you to possibly see this as a deal breaker. So moving on, it uses Omron switches rated at 20 million clicks, which is a really good thing because the 50 million switch ones have a lifespan issue where they double click after a while. Now that we've talked about the specifications, let's move on to the design of the mouse. The mouse is 68 grams for the matte variants and 69 grams, nice, for the glossy variants, so definitely really lightweight. There are lighter weight mouse options out there, but for a mouse of this specific size, there aren't really many other options that are this light. Now, other than that, there's also the Glorious G-Skates, which are some really nice high-quality PTFE feet that Glorious includes. I really like them, and the glide on them has been really nice for more than 2 weeks of use, so I would say that they're really good. Moving on from there, you have the Glorious Ascended cable, which is a really nice, high-quality, super flexible cable that almost makes the mouse feel wireless. If you had a blindfold on and you tried it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that this mouse is actually wired. Now, the shape is a really nice and comfortable ambidextrous shape. It flares out a tiny little bit at the back and a tiny little bit at the front, with a slight indentation near the grip or the middle of the mouse. The top of the mouse doesn't have much of a curve, it's more of a flatter design, so it's not a lot like the G Pro Wireless or other mice that have a hump near the back that give a little bit more support to the back of your knuckles. So yeah, the mouse buttons do have a little bit of contouring to them to give them a little bit more of a comforting feel. The side mouse buttons are really small. I would have preferred them to be a little bit bigger, but they're fine, honestly. One thing that I feel like Glorious could have improved on these is that these have quite a bit of pre-travel, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. It kind of makes them feel mushy. So moving into my conclusions with this mouse, talking about my experience in game. So in game, this mouse was absolutely a blast to use. So it was super pleasant using this mouse as my main for the last 2 weeks, and it's been performing really well. I think that it's one of the best mice out there, especially for 50 bucks. And even at 5,800 taka, I feel like this is a great value, especially if you have that kind of money to spend. If you don't, there are other options for you to consider. So in the end, in my experience using this mouse, it was super comfortable to use in game during Valorant. During several hours of gameplay, I was really enjoying myself using this mouse. The grip was super comfortable. The response times on these switches were really nice as well. The sensor tracked super well. My flicks were landing really nicely, and I was super satisfied using this mouse. It was a really good time using it, so I would say that this is definitely one of the best mice that you can get. So if this mouse is in your budget, I would say that this is definitely the best one, especially if you're looking for an ambidextrous mouse for medium to large size hands, that is to say 19 centimeters or around that range. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Bye!
ব্রিজেরটা বাকি কিন্তু আমি বলি ব্রিজেরটা